स्वामी रामानंद तीर्थ मराठवाडा University Nanded semester pattern curriculum under choice based credit system CBCS for undergraduate program. Faculty of Science and Technology, subject Botany, year B.Sc second year. Now B.Sc second year semester 3rd theory paper 6 plant anatomy. This is unit 1st meristematic tissue. What is tissue? A tissue is a group of cells having a common organ and usually performing a common function. A plant is made up of different kinds of tissue. This is the diagram. Different types of tissue. These are xylem, phloem. These are vascular tissue, gland tissue, dermal tissue. These are the epidermis tissue. Tissue are classified into two main groups, namely meristematic and permanent tissue based on whether the cell being formed are capable of dividing or not. This is the tree diagram of classification of tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue has the ability of divided. Permanent tissue has lost the ability to divide it. Then are divided in meristematic tissue. Then are divided in apical meristem, intercalary meristem, lateral meristem, and permanent tissue has then are divided in simple tissue, complex tissue, secretory tissue. Simple tissue, there are three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, scalenchyma. Next, complex tissue then are divided into xylem and phloem. Xylem are divided into 5 types. These are trichoids and vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, transverse cell, and phloem then are divided into 5 types: cell elements, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers, transverse cells, and last secretory tissue. There are 2 types: external secretory structure and internal secretory structure. Now we will come to our main point. Meristem or meristematic tissue. Growth in the plants is largely restricted to specialized region of active cell division called meristem. Meristematic tissue have potentiality to divide to become active in response to appropriate stimuli. Meristematic tissue are localized region in which cell division takes place or retain their power of division. Now, the characteristics feature of meristematic tissue are as follows. First of all, the cells are living with prominent nucleus at center with the dense cytoplasm. The cells are made up of cellulose wall. The vacuoles in the cell are either very small or altogether absent. In the cell, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum are not well developed. The cells are rounded, oval or polygonal in shape. The cells do not have intercellular space. The cell possess plastids are in the form of protoplastids. The cell have very high metabolic rate. Now, classification of meristematic tissue. The meristem are classified on the basis of 4 types: origin, function, position, development. First of all, classification of meristematic tissue based on origin. There are 3 classes of meristematic recognized on the basis of origin of the initiating cells. First of all, promeristem, perimodal meristem. Promeristems are embryonic meristem is the growth region in a plant body where foundation of new organs or their parts of organs in institute. In this region, cells are isodermatic, thin-walled with dense cytoplasm and large nucleus present. Now, the cell present in this region change in size, shape and character of the cell wall and cytoplasm and differentiated into primary meristem. This is the diagrammatic representation of promeristem. Next point, primary meristem. Primary meristem are those meristem from the primary fundamental parts of the plant. The main primary meristem are the apex of root, stem, leaves and other similar appendages. The primary meristem cell divided in all possible plants. Here, this is the diagrammatic representation of primary meristem. Primary tissues, root hairs, primary meristem. Now, secondary meristem. The secondary meristem appears after a certain stage of development of plant organ. It always present or arise in permanent tissue and they develop from mature tissue which are already differentiated. The secondary meristem arise as new meristem in tissue which is not meristematic. These cells are found lining lateral along the side of the stem and root. The secondary meristem is phylogen or cork cambium. The secondary meristem develops lateral and at the time of emergency healing of wounds. This is the diagrammatic representation of secondary meristem. Vascular cambium, cork cambium.